morning student. I am Dr. Kruti Jethwa, Associate Professor from Sri Shankaracharya Technical Campus, Bhilai. This is a course of Fundamental of Building Construction, week number 9, lecture number 28. The topic is scaffolding, types and the purpose. Scaffolding. What is scaffolding? Scaffolding is a temporary structure used in the construction to support the workers, materials and tools during the building, repair and the maintenance of a structures. It provides safe and stable platform for a worker to perform their task at the height. The purpose of scaffolding are safety. The scaffolding provides a secure platform for the worker to work on, reducing the risk of falls and other accident that could result in the serious injury or death. Access. The scaffolding allows the worker to access almost any area of a structure, including the high ceiling and the wall. Balance. Scaffolding provides a firm footing for a workers to balance themselves in the different position. The efficiency. Scaffolding allows worker to maneuver around the buildings quickly and easily. Ease of construction. Scaffolding is relatively easy to assemble and disassemble and can put up and take down the fairly fast. Supports. Scaffolding provides the supports and elevation for workers and the materials. Safety appliance. The safety appliance such as the barrier, netting and the fencing ensure the health and the safety for a public below the scaffolding. The following points should be observed in the scaffolding. First, standards should be created to rest on the hard and the rigid ground. If the hard and the firm ground is not available, standard may be created on the ordinary timber sole plate. Second, the loading on the scaffolding should not be heavy. Third, scaffolding should be tight at appropriate level of a building. The tie scaffolding horizontal vertical pulleys can be used inside the buildings and secure the scaffolding to it by tying pullocks through the doors and the window opening. To give lateral support to the scaffolding, rackers should be used. Fourth point, to enable the working at a height, the working platform should be lifted by lengthening the standards and the providing extra ladders and the pullouts. The holes left in the wall should be filled immediately after the withdrawing the pullock. The spacing between the standards should be made according to the loads to be carried and the section of the standard. The special patented scaffolding should be used for the construction of the structure like tower, domes, chimney, etc. The composite material, the combination of the materials such as steel, glasses should be used in the scaffolding component. Galvanized steel coated with a zinc for added corrosion resistance, often used for outdoor scaffolding project. Powder coated steel, the coated with a durable powder for added corrosion resistance and the aesthetic appeal. Carbon fiber, the lightweight high strength material used for the specialized scaffolding applications. Recycled material, some scaffolding components are made from the recycled material supporting the sustainable construction practice. The parts or components. Standards, these are the vertical member of a framework supporting on the ground or embedded into the ground. The ledgers, these are the horizontal member running parallel to the walls. Braces, these are the diagonal members fixed on the standards. Putlocks, these are the transverse members placed at the right angle to the wall with one end supported on the ladders and another ends on the wall. Boardings, these are the horizontal platform to support the workman and the material, these are supported on the putlocks. Guide rail, these rails provide like ledgers at the working levels. Sole plates, a plate used to distribute the load of a scaffold onto the ground. Base plate, a plate that sits on the sole plates and supports the vertical standard of the scaffold. Decking, the working platform raised on the ledgers. Toe boards, The boards that prevent the tools and material from falling off scaffolding. It should be at least 6 inch in the height. Clamps used to connect the different parts of a scaffolding. The standard clamps are EN75 and the BS15. The ladders, it's provide access to the working platform. It should be secure at the 3 location. Tags, greens and the red tags are used to indicate the status of scaffold. They should be renewed after 1 week. This photograph show the component of a scaffolding. It's include all the parts, and these photographs show the various important members like a toe boards, base plate, soles plate, scaffold tags. Types of scaffolding. Here the various types of scaffolding are used based on the material, based on their uses, based where the scaffolding is utilizing. So, these are the various types of scaffolding. We are going one by one. First, a single or a brick layer scaffolding type. This type of scaffolding is very typically used in the erection of brickwork. It is usually temporary isolated framework set up to parallel to the wall being erected 1.2 meter from it. It consists of scaffolding part standards, ledgers and putlogs. The sequence of vertical member called the standards made of a timber or a bamboo fixed firmly into the ground and parallel to the wall being erected. They are placed at the interval of 2 to 2.5 meters. These vertical members are connected with the help of the horizontal member called ledgers, placed at the interval of 1.2 to 1.5 meters. Putlogs are connected on the ledgers using the rope lacing at the one end of a scaffold, while other end is supported into the wall. The putlogs are placed at the interval of 1.2 to 1.5 meter. The races are also fixed diagonally across the standard to provide the extra supports and stability to the scaffolding part when very tall structure being constructed. Double or independent or the Manson scaffoldings. It is also known as a Manson scaffolding or a stone masonry scaffolding because it is generally used for the stone masonry work. It is much stronger than the single scaffold types and it provides better support for the construction process. Unlike the single scaffolding material which consists of single framework, Manson scaffolding consists of 2 rows of a standard separated by the ledgers into the improve the stability of scaffolding as it form the structure component being constructed to improve the strength and durability of a ledgers. Transfer are placed on the ledger with cross races. This attribute makes the strong than the single scaffolding. The 2 rows of a scaffolding are set up in such a way that the first row is fixed near the wall at the distance of 20 to 30 centimeter from the wall, while the second row is fixed straightly further from the wall, that is 1.5 meter from the wall. The double in its name is due to 2 rows of a standard penetrating the ground surface. The putlogs when used in the double scaffolding are not supported into the wall, instead they are supported at the both ends of a scaffolding parts, which are eliminates the dependence of a scaffolding material on the walls. Cantilever scaffolding. This scaffolding consists of standards, putlogs. It is used under the following circumstances. The ground is weak to support. The construction of a upper part of a wall is to be carried out. It is required to keep a ground near the wall free from the traffic. One of which needles are taken out from the walls and it is called single frame type or dependent cantilever scaffolding, and it is one in which the needle are studded inside the wall are called independent or a double frame type cantilever scaffolding. This scaffolding type is used in situations such as ground being weak to support standards and the construction work is to be performed at the higher elevation. The space near the wall need to be kept vacant for the traffic and the walkways. Suspended scaffolding, it consists of ropes, working platforms. Ropes can be raised manually or mechanically, used for the light construction and the finish work of a multi-story buildings. This type of scaffolding we have generally sees for the painting and pointing works. Another type, steel or tubular scaffolding types. This looks similar to the Manson scaffolding type, where the bamboo or the timber material have been replaced with the steel. Sometimes can be serve the purpose of a bricklayer scaffolding when the holes are made into the wall to support one end of the scaffolding. It is also known as a tubular scaffolding due to the use of hollow steel tubes in place of timber or bamboo plank. With a diameter or range of 1.5 to 2.5 inch, instead of using the rope lacing for the fastening of member, the special type of the steel couples are used, which consist of individual pipes, bolts, nuts, washer, wedges, clips held together by the proper nuts. The steel standards are connected using the tube ledgers placed at the interval of 1.5 meter. The putlocks used in this scaffold type of are quite long, generally 1.2 to 1.5 meter long. The only drawback of this using the steel scaffold is that it is comparatively more expensive than the advantageous numericals. Some of these have given below. The entire framework of a steel scaffolding can be dismantled and erected much easily than the timber or a bamboo scaffold type. It is much more durable than the counterparts, thus has a long life and the most cost effective than others. One of the crucial advantage of using the steel scaffolding type is that it is far more fire resistant than its counterparts, and last but not the least, it is more strong and sturdier, which allows is to use for high elevation construction work. Another type is the system scaffolding types, which is divided here into 3 parts. It is also known as a modular scaffolding. This scaffolding type is preliminary makeup of the prefabricated vertical and horizontal members or components that can be effortlessly connected systematically. It is likely the most use of scaffold type in the world for massive construction project. This type of scaffolding can be easily erected since the position of connection are fixed and the entire framework only needs to be fastened in this location. The system scaffold type commonly in the large variety as some of the most popular types has been given below. First, the cup lock or ring lock scaffolding system. The cup lock scaffolding system is a heavy duty scaffolding system that can support heavy loads, and it is made of galvanized steel. This scaffolding popular all over the world because it has a unique and the simple locking mechanism. It is very easy to set up and it is fast and economical. High standardized system can be created with a cup lock scaffolding types of a scaffolding designed with a repeated patterns. Cup lock scaffolding system consists of the standard ledgers, transoms, base plates. The ledgers have a blade at the both ends, and the standard have a locking cups placed throughout its length and at the interval of 500 to 1000 mm. The standard and the ledgers are available in several lengths, are connected through the pre-engineering locking cups. This is the cups and the ring lock scaffolding systems. Second type, that is system scaffolding. Second type, that is Kiwi stage scaffolding system. This system is quite similar to the cup lock scaffolding system, but the component used in this framework are standard ledgers, base jack, hook on boards. The only difference is that instead of cup lock system and the locking cups, V-shaped fitting are used here to which the ladders are connected. The transom secure the scaffolding system and they link the inner and outer standard through this V-shaped fitting. Also, when the one sleep platform and the double guardrail are used with the kiwi stage scaffolding, the safety and reliability of this system are improved. This is the kiwi stage scaffolding types. Another type of system scaffolding, that is C, that is staircase tower. Staircase tower scaffolding is used to make main scaffolding platform accessible, as it is safer than using the ladders. Some small work, this scaffolding type is useful in working independently from its platform, where the worker can carry the tools and equipment with them up and the stair, which is safer, and then climbing the ladders. This scaffolding type is also used for temporary access, the high elevation in the structure in case of urgency. This system has a fewer component and lighter, and in term of safety, quality and the adaptability than more system. One of the most contemporary system, the staircase tower scaffolding, is not only used in scaffolding, but it is also shoring and suspended system. Another type is frame and the raise scaffolding. This is the modular scaffolding type, consists of frame, raise, plank, base, which is lightweight and can be erected rapidly without much skill or experience, as each part is connected to the prefix position. The frame are connected vertically above each other via the cross racing. This type of scaffolding is not as strong and sturdy as the system scaffolding. Therefore, it is used for small project due to the safety issues and the place where it is scaffolded have to be mobile. Frame and the raise type scaffolding type photograph. Next type, most climbing scaffolding type. This scaffolding type is similar to the suspended scaffolding, can be extended to be used at the greater elevation, which make it suitable for the high-rise building. Unlike the suspended scaffolding, where the framework are hang with a wire, this scaffolding can climb up and down on the mass support structure fixed on the ground. This is preferred for the works that needs high bearing scaffold for this project sites with limited ground area, as these should not require significant amount of space at the base of the structure. This is the mass climbing scaffolding. Here from the photograph, we do not require huge parts at the base. Another type, that is terrestrial scaffolding type. The name itself sufficient to describe the scaffold type. It is supported on the tripod type mobile ladder. It is primarily used in indoor for repairing and painting purpose, and thus it is limited to construction work for up to height of 5 meters only. Another type is patented scaffolding type. These are the ready-made scaffold made from the steel, which are equipped with a special couple, and the frame are as per the project requirement and are ready to use. On being purchased, the patented scaffolding involve this setting up for the working platform on the bracket, and that can be adjusted to the level of the structure. These are the patented scaffolding type. The most of the time we are using for the special type of the works. The another type of scaffolding, that is aluminum scaffolding. Here are some benefits of the aluminum scaffolding. They are easy to make over erected, dismantling with a lesser labor, power boost efficiency, provide brilliant rigidity. They are light in weight but have a high load carrying capacity. They have stood the test of time and desire has proven a labor safety. Because these scaffolding are made of aluminum, they have non-corrosion property and are therefore resistant to rust and damage. Aluminum scaffolding tower are used to access the scaffolding and the formwork staging for the high slab, breach, girder and the heavy structures. Aluminum scaffolding towers are must have for every construction site. Thanks for their versatility, easy to use and ensure safety, it is helped to boost the pace of the construction work. To know the exactly which scaffolding tower your construction site needed, you must know how many scaffolding types are available. The M-Safe ground manufactures some of these highly modernized aluminum scaffold H-frame tower that are not only easy to use but also the safe with work with. To learn more about the advantage of this scaffolding, the aluminum scaffolding are hand down the safest and the most adaptable multi-purpose scaffolding system in the construction industries. It's help not only in construction purpose but for a quick fix and the repair work whenever it's required. Advantage of this scaffolding: it's enable easy access, provide the perfect balance, safety, efficiency, easy to assemble and dismantling, act as a bridge, last for long time, flexibility, adaptability to the various tasks. We will see these advantage one by one in detail. Enable easy to access means a construction along with various other activities, it's involved being a lot tougher if access to any parts it's absent or limited. This is a major non-urban address by the scaffolding, as it is allow the unhindered access to any parts of the structure. This is immensely useful when say the structure is a tall building and where the support is important. This scaffolding creates a working space no matter how tall the structure it is. The interconnected layout of this scaffolding further ensure the building and the workers get full access to every area of a building for tasks like plastering and the painting. Second, provide the perfect balance. In addition to accessibility, the another advantage of a scaffolding is to balance. There are lots of precision tasks in the construction that require worker to be at the depths. That is only possible when the worker is put on the firm footing, which is sometime that the scaffolding does brilliantly. Thanks for the flat surface that scaffolds offers, the work can balance themselves in the different positions. The latter is important because there are certain tasks that necessitate a specific position. Another advantage, ensure safety. Safety is amongst the advantages of scaffolding in the construction. A few would argue against it. Depending upon the task that hand, the construction worker might too require a work at a dizzying height. The exact height of a work scaffolding is a function of a numbers of floors a building has. With the scaffolding, worker can ensure the safe working surface. The boost productivity and offer a easy assembling and the dismantling. Boost productivity, one of the less apparent advantage of a scaffolding is the increase in all over productivity. This is the direct benefits of a greater efficiency that results from the increased safe and the access that are provided by the scaffolding. When the worker is offered a comfortable the working space, the productivity is bound to be increased, especially in the physically damaging the occupation like a construction work. Next advantage, this offering easy assembling and dismantling. The contrary to the popular perception, assembling and the dismantling scaffolding is not taking time. In fact, they are simple to assemble and dismantling and save the lot of time for the builders who are forever battling construction deadlines. Anything that can be save time is it's more than anything that can save time are welcome. The scaffolding firm is do just that by taking at least amount of time to put up and take down the scaffoldings. Act as a bridge. Construction involves a number of activity where the worker might needs a take longer and the winding routes to access the shuttered points. This is the huge waste of a time and the work makes workers unnecessarily tired as well as the scaffolding work around these problems have offering a numerous bridging points which significantly reduce the distance the workers need to cover. Apart from saving the time and energy, these bridge point also can make construction simpler. Seventh advantage, last for a long time. Scaffold last for a long time, like really one, while wooden scaffolding is slow going out of fashion, and they can be last for the regular long time. The steel however is the clear winner when they come into the lifespan. The more important things here is that is the managing to last long while also offering high level of security. Disadvantage of scaffolding: cost, initial investment of the scaffolding equipment is high. Space, require the storage phase for the scaffolding component. Labors, require the skilled labor for installation and dismantling. Weather, can be affected by the weather like a strong wind, rain, extreme temperature. Maintenance, regular maintenance is required to ensure the safety. We will see one by one in detail. First, safety hazards. The scaffolding can be dangerous, especially if it is not assembled properly or it is not used safely. Hazard include falls. Falls from height can be fatal. Collision, falling tools, materials, debris can strike a workers. Poor assembly, improper construction can lead to unstable or collapsed structure. Weather, the strong winds and other adversely weather condition can weaken the scaffolding. Cost, scaffolding can be expensive to erect, maintain and the supply with material. Space, scaffolding can take lots of space which can be limited. Time, it can take long time and labor to construct scaffolding platform. Access, smaller space that are hard to reach may not be accessible with a scaffolding. Training, worker need to be trained and take proper precaution, safety precaution to avoid the accident. Hazards of scaffolding, here are the few hazards. That's unsecured the ladders, sleeping. Worker may sleep climbing a ladder, especially if the ladder is not secured correctly. This can cause serious injuries or even death. Another hazards, use of unsuitable, damage or faulty material. The scaffolding can be constructed using the stable material and check regularly to ensure it is in good condition. Faulty or damaged material can cause the structure collapse, leading to the serious injury and the fatality. Third, inadequate supports to scaffold board. The scaffold board must be properly supported to avoid the risk of collapse. If they are not supported correctly, the worker can fall from the height and causing the serious injury or the fatalities. Third hazard, omission or removal of a guardrail. If the guardrail are essential in the preventing fall from the height, if they are omitted or removed, the worker are risk of falling from the scaffold. Fifth hazard, not properly tied or raised. Scaffolding must be properly tied and raised to prevent it from toppling over it. Failure to do so can seriously injure or fatality. 6. Overloading of a platform or a board. Overloading of a scaffold platform or a board can cause the structure collapse, leading to serious injury or the fatalities. The general safety precaution: first, a component third party certificate person is to allow for the scaffolding job. It is important to hire the competent person who is certified by the third party to scaffold work. A certified person will have a knowledge and experience to erect and dismantle the scaffolding properly, ensure the safety to the workers. Second safety precaution, that is cold work permit is required. Before starting the scaffolding work, the cold work permit is required. These permit ensure that all necessary precaution has taken to avoid the accident or the injuries. Another safety precautions, that's materials, clamps shall not dropped or thrown. The materials and the clamps used for the scaffolding work should not be dropped. from the height, as they can cause injury to the workers and damage to the properties. Another safety precaution, that the leather bags shall be used for the shifting. The leather bag should be used for the shifting material and the tools on the scaffolding to avoid the risk of dropping them. Another safety precaution, while erection and the modification, red tags shall be displayed at the height equal to the eye levels. A red tag should be displayed at the eye levels on the scaffolding during the erection and modification to indicate that the scaffolding is under the construction and should not be used. 9. Safety precaution, that is, if the height exceeding the ratio, the additional tie with a nearby existing structure shall be given. If the scaffolding height exceeds the prescribed ratio, additional tie line with nearby structure should be provided for stability. Another safety precaution, the job shall be suspended in the case of heavy wind more than 65 kmph or a rain. Scaffolding work should be suspended in the case of heavy wind or a rainfall, as it can be hazard to workers. Another safety precaution, dismantling start from the top. The scaffolding dismantling start from the top and the work down and downward to prevent the accident. 12th, the scaffolding tag shall be renewed after 1 week and the checklist should be maintained. A scaffolding tag should be renewed after every week and the checklist should be maintained to assure the safety measure being followed. Ladder shall be raised at least 1 meter above the landing platform, should be secure at the 3 locations. The ladders used for scaffolding work should be raised at least 1 meter above the landing platform and should be secure at the 3 locations to prevent accident. 14 safety precaution, that is properly trained worker. It is important to provide the properly training to the worker before allowing them to work on scaffolding. Workers should be trained to recognize the hazard associated with the scaffolding work, including the danger of falling, risk associated with using the power tools and the needs of a proper safety gears. Another safety precaution, that is use of safety harness. Workers should always wear the safety harness when the working on the scaffolding, especially when the worker at the height greater than 1.8 meter. Safety harness should be secure, anchored to the suitable point, and the worker should be trained to use the harness properly. 16 safety precaution, keep the workplace clean. The cluttered or the poorly maintained the workplace can increase the risk of the accident. So, it is important to keep the workplace clean and free from the obstacle. The worker should also be trained for the hazards of these obstacles. And 17, the loosened material and the clamp should not be kept unattended on the working platform. The loosened material or a clamp can fall and causes the severe injury to the worker below. All the material should be secured and properly stored in the designed area. Another safety precaution, risk assessment required with wind speeds more than 50 km per hour. It is important to access the risk assessment for this safety. 19, the mobile scaffold casters or wheels. The mobile scaffold caster diameter should be 5 inch and the wheel lock required. This is ensure the scaffold remains stable and secure during the movement. Last, that is guin wheel. The guin wheel should be used for the light material lifting. Heavy material should be lifted using the hoist or a crane. It will be prevent the strain or injury to the worker who are manually lifted. Now, come to the summary. Now, in this class we have studied the scaffolding, its types, material, advantage, disadvantage, hazard of the scaffolding, which are the safety precaution. We have studied around 20 safety precaution here. So, I think this class will helpful for a detailed study of scaffolding and everything will be clear to you. Thank you student, thank you so much.